which fast food mascot would win in a fight? So we all selected our champion, and we're going to argue about which one is the best.
Yes.
So eventually, what I settled on, at the suggestion of Chris actually, was the Noid. Now, listener, you may be asking yourself, the fuck is the Noid? That's a reasonable question. The Noid is a former mascot of Domino's Pizza. Created in the 80s, which, if you look at the Noid, explains a lot. The Noid sort of, because once again, there's a very real chance you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, sort of for a physical description, the Noid is he's like a very squat man in like a red jumpsuit with rabbit ears.
If you took Roger from Who Framed Roger Rabbit and put him in one of those, like a red spandex one-piece suit,
it's like a human version of Roger.
Yeah, because he also just has like a weird like middle-aged man face, but the top of it's covered by the mask. I don't know. Just look him up. Take a gander. You know, sort of get y'all on the same page here.
Yeah, take like Roger Rabbit, like I guess Jessica Rabbit for the red, and then. I guess the Chuck E. Cheese mouse, maybe, for the right facial structure. Put them in a blender, and then kick the shit out of it.
Honestly, the face kind of reminds me of Kramer from Seinfeld, but, like, thin at the top. Maybe it's just the picture I'm looking at right now. But anyway, that's the Noid. The Noid is basically, and this is, like, taken from the Wikipedia page on him, the Noid is the physical manifestation of all of the challenges inherent in getting a pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less. So, the idea...
Very specific.
The idea behind the ad campaign is that anytime your pizza is delayed, it was caused by the Noid. Or if it's cold when it gets there, or it gets squashed on the way there or something, that was always the Noid.
Oh, so he's an enemy of Domino's.
Yes, he is very much an enemy of Domino's. And in fact, he is thwarted by Domino's Pizza. His methods do not work on their pizza. Which we will get to that, and to some trouble that got Domino's into. So sort of to go through his workshop here, the tools we have to work with the Noid. A lot of his stuff is very like Wile E. Coyote. It's just that the Noid is kind of a like mad scientist figure in some ways. So some of the things that he uses, he has like a pogo stick sort of thing, but the bottom of it is like a giant weight on the bottom labeled Pizza Crusher. And he like jumps on that and bounces around and like smashes pizzas. And it's obviously very heavy because it like leaves craters on the ground as he's jumping.
Okay.
So there's that. There's some sort of like ice gun. Think of like an old school flamethrower with like the backpack, but for making things cold instead of on fire. Which he uses to like cool down pizzas and make them like frosty. And one ad, he uses this like he gets on this like crazy like rocket sled thing with a boxing glove on the front that is very much Wile E. Coyote. That he tries to knock on a wall with.
Does he succeed?
No, they like open the door and he just flies through it and like rides off into the sunset while screaming. He's a very violent, like crazy figure as well, who is like enraged by pizza. I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm trying to imagine how this campaign came about. Like, all the different things that's hard to deliver the pizza in 30 minutes. So did they get a bunch of complaints,
Marcus,
from their drivers about...
The way it came about is that it was the 80s, so there was cocaine.
So follow me on this small mental journey. I'm the head of marketing, or I guess relations in like employee relations at Domino's, and I get a bunch of complaints from all my drivers all across the world because they're like, hey, we can't deliver pizzas in 30 minutes. It's horrible. It's causing us to drive recklessly. There's all this shit going down and we're losing money. It's like very stressful and terrible. And here's all the things like that happened to us that we couldn't control that ruined the 30 minutes. And the guy's like, this gives me an idea for an ad campaign.
Marcus, we are going to loop back to most of what you just said in just a minute once I finish these powers. Believe me, we're going to get there. Hold on tight. Last couple of like tool things he has. And one, he just has straight up bombs. Just like cartoon style, like, black spherical bombs with a fuse. Just has bombs. Yeah. And then in one, he also has like a weather control machine. There's one ad where he shows up as like a wizard and makes a pizza cold. But that might have just been him like dressing up. He's always like some like wizard cosplays. I'm going to really count him as like having magic because he only shows up that one time and he's shown making pizza cold with technology before. So I think he was just having fun there.
So he's refined the pizza cold technology.
Exactly. Yeah. And then sort of the other important thing aside from these tools that he has is that the Noid obeys cartoon physics. So the two like examples I have of this, there's one where he runs through a wall and just goes straight through it and leaves a Noid-shaped hole.
Classic.
And then in the commercial with the bombs, he's blown up by his own bomb, and he's flung out into space where he like sort of like waves and looks like bashful / confused, then falls back down to Earth and is flattened on impact, but is still alive.
I'm sure if he walked off a cliff, he wouldn't fall unless he looked down.
Exactly. He's very, very Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote is very much the shtick that they were going for with the Noid. So those are, I think, his two main things, or his various like pizza destroying gadgets and his cartoon physics situation. And there's one more little like sort of intangible edge I think the Noid has, which is that the Noid has been responsible for the loss of human life. So apparently there was a very real issue, as Marcus was pointing out, where because of this 30-minute guarantee that Domino's had, where delivery drivers were driving recklessly. And apparently there were accidents and deaths that wound up being attributed to the 30-minute guarantee promotion. And Domino's was sued for millions of dollars, including one suit for $50 million. And as a result of these, that was actually why the Noid ad campaign was ended. So, I think that the Noid has a psychological edge because he has caused death. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
So, keep that in mind. Also, there was this one weird incident where there was this guy named Kenneth Lamar Noid who was mentally ill and thought the ads were a personal attack on him, and he held the employees of a Domino's in Atlanta hostage for 5 hours. So apparently he forced them to make him a special pizza and a salad, and then made demands for $100,000, a getaway car, and a copy of The Widow's Son, which is some book, I don't know. The employees like got away, and then he surrendered to police. I don't know. But that also happened too.
Interesting.
Who knows? Not really relevant, but interesting. So
I like to imagine he did it while dressed up as the Noid for his, secret identity costume, and he just walks in, he's like, "I'm not the Noid." It's like, you look a little bit like the Noid. I'm just a Noid.